50 ഷാർപ്പ് 50
மைக்கு மியூட் பண்ணா இது
Hello, good evening to all. So today we will be seeing about artificial intelligence on robotics. Okay. So first, before entering to the AI topic, so we will let us know what is AI, okay, and why we are using it in robotics. So artificial intelligence, so from the name itself you are able to get that. So we are creating some intelligence, providing the intelligence artificially. Okay, so we are giving the intelligence for the artificially made a thing. That thing can be an application or a hardware oriented machines or some kind of robotics. Okay, so in this webinar we are going to see some of the basic concepts and technical terms that are under your AI. Okay, and we will also see about the agents, what are the agents are available in the AI and its evolution, etc. Okay. Okay, and as I said, today we will be seeing about the introduction of artificial intelligence and what are the types of AI are available and some of the types of agents and what are the platforms that you can use for creating some AI application. Okay, so you know that nowadays we are implementing AI in most of the applications. Okay, wherever it might be. For example, you can consider the online platforms like Google or YouTube. They are using some deep learning methods which is under the subset of AI. Okay, so they are analyzing a huge amount of data, and based on the data they are analyzing their customer requirement. Okay, so what kind of videos they are mostly seeing, so what are the trending videos. Okay, so based on that they are able to give some or recommend some new videos for the customers so that they pertain in that website itself. Okay, so likewise, like how YouTube is recommending some of the videos such that making their customers to browse in YouTube for a long time. So similarly we use this artificial intelligence in robotics also. Okay, so for doing some of the actions where human cannot do that. Okay, or the environment where human can't go there and do it. Okay, so why this artificial intelligence are very much a booming thing in this 20th century or 21st century. Okay, so you know that AI, when we see the evolution of AI, it is starting from 1950s. Okay, but now it is booming out. Why? Because we require some of the robots that should be operating without the human intervention. Okay, so we are moving to a production rate at higher. Okay, so human power cannot you cannot use human power continuously. Okay, so in those kind of things we are implementing AI based robotics where it can work for 24/7. Okay, so for meeting the increasing production rate, so we are implementing AI based robotics nowadays. So actually the original human evolution started from monkey, but now our evolution is moving on from Homo sapiens to AI based robotics. Okay, so in this era we are using some of the smartphones. Okay, and you have just noted that we are able to create some of the brain controlled devices. Yes, like controlling some of the home appliances using your eyeball movements. Okay, or even without the eyeball movements also, you are just reading the brain signals, you are able to do some actions, or you are able to control an application or a hardware device. Okay, so nowadays we are evolving, or some of the projects also we are discussing about the brain computing interface. Okay, and now we are in the stage of building some smart devices, and we are moving towards the brain controlled applications, and in the deep area. So nowadays the research has started with prosthetic limbs. So that is your third stage of human development or AI development. Okay, so in the previous sector or the previous evolution, so you have seen that brain computing applications are being developed. Okay, now so these prosthetic limbs are the advanced level of your brain computing applications. Okay, so I'll just give an example regarding this prosthetic limbs. So what is that is, so similar like your BCI communication, your brain signals, whatever the signals that are moving to your hand or your legs, so those signals are replicated and they are sent to man-made or artificially made robotic arms. Okay, or we can call it as like a armor. Okay, so we use these prosthetic limbs, okay, for making a normal human to a superhuman. So even now DRDO has started their research in this prosthetic limbs. Okay, so why they have started is that when you see about the US or UK, so they have already tried and developed some of the prosthetic projects, and they are being tested with their military activities. Okay, so by implementing this kind of prosthetic limbs, you are able to give a power to the human such that he is able to lift some amount of weight, like you can say that like 200 kgs or 300 kgs, which a normal human cannot lift. Okay, so by using this kind of prosthetic limbs, you are just giving some more power to the human, making him as a superhuman. Okay, and the next advanced level is your complete AI based robotics. Okay, so where you don't have any interaction, the robot itself thinks based on the data that is receiving by it. Okay, and it computes it, and it gives some kind of output in the way of like audio speech, where it is similar like how humans speak, right? So nowadays we are able to create some of the applications which can interact with us like a human. You cannot just detect whether it is the person who is speaking with you, whether it's a human or an application. You cannot just guess it by listening to the voice. Yes, so the technology is developing in a much exponential rate. Okay, so we are for example, I can say that Sophia robot, so which is a AI based complete humanoid robot. Okay, where it can do some of the reactions that can done by the human. Okay, so you can see that we are able to develop a robot so that can do some facial reactions. Okay, so we are trying to implement some of the emotions like what we do in real time. Okay, like feeling sad or feeling happy. So these kind of emotions are we are just evolving and we are developing. Okay, so this Sophia robot, it's an example on robot that is similar to like a human. So like this, even in Germany, Boston Dynamics, they are developing more different kinds of robots in different aesthetics. Okay, in different combinations. Okay, they are building the robots with legs, and with locomotion wheels, etc. Okay, so they follow different kinds of structures and designs. So when we say like artificial intelligence, so which is a booming out technology, as I said earlier. So why this 21st century is chosen for booming AI? Why? Because data, it is now available everywhere. Yes, so data is the new thing or the oil for your AI. So whenever I say artificial intelligence, so how this kind of things or a robot or application, how they find whether what kind of input, or how they define our, or how they predict our analysis. Okay, this person will hear this kind of songs in this time, so how they predict. So all these are done by grabbing huge amount of data or collecting huge amount of data. Okay, so when you take in the previous past before 10 years, so most of us, we don't have an internet connection, like an wired internet connection. Okay, and we don't have smart mobiles. Only some of them were having the smart mobiles. So now in this year 2021, you consider, so most of the homes are having internet facilities and smartphones. Okay, so now we are able to send some data through internet very fast. Okay, so your data are able to traceable via your internet. Okay, so by analyzing the IP protocols, okay, as a provider can analyze your data. So what you are visualizing more, and what type of videos you are seeing, and what type of sites you are visualizing. Yes, and even your location. Okay, and if suppose you are using some Google Maps. Okay, you may have noticed that whenever you go to some locations, your Google Map will be asking for a nearby restaurant, like you can just go and visit there. Okay, and even they might have that they might have asked you to rate it. Okay, so you have visited this location, so have you visited this restaurant? Okay, if you visited, just rate it. So it will be asking you such things. Okay, so how your Google application knows that you are in this particular location and the particular restaurant is nearby you? So it's all by collecting the data. So that's why we say that data is the new oil. Apart from your crude oil, now data is the new oil. Okay, so where most of the companies are in the competition of using this kind of technology. Okay, even your Geo company, it is also coming into the data oil. They are collecting the data and they are using for their AI applications. Now most of the countries are involved in developing the AI based applications by based on getting some data. Okay, so we have seen data is the oil for your artificial intelligence. Okay, so how these data are connected? So nowadays, if you consider, we have like a smart devices, so smart home control devices. For example, I can say like Alexa or Google Assistant. Okay, so where you are commanding, or you are just speaking with Alexa like a normal person. Okay, just play this, or just call somebody. So whatever, you interact like a normal person with Alexa. Okay, and Alexa is interacting with some other devices that are in your home, which are smart devices. Okay, so how they are able to communicate? So it is done by using the IoT. Okay, even IoT is a special or a specific technology. Okay, even this technology, it is also combining with your AI. Okay, with the help of your IoT, I am able to communicate with the different kind of things or smart devices that is present in the or connected to your internet. Okay, so I can communicate with some of the protocols that are available in the IoT, like your MQTT protocol. Okay, or even for sending some SMS or mail, you can use your SMTP protocol or IMAP protocol. Okay, we have several different kinds of protocol. For acting like a web server, we are using some HTTP protocols. Okay, so using these protocols, we are able to communicate with the different devices. Okay, so from these devices, you are able to retrieve the data, or you are able to send the data to those devices for their performance. So for example, I can say like nowadays some of the youngsters are having the mobile app for counting the number of steps they are walking. Okay, so you have the app in your mobile and it is showing that how many steps and how many kilometers you have walked. So how it is showing that? So that is based on the data it is getting. So it is getting the data from your phone accelerometer, your phone GPS location. Okay, so using your phone I can say that whether you are sitting or walking or what kind of things you are doing. So these all things are data which are connected to internet. So by using this IoT concept, so we are able to send this data. Okay, so by communicating through internet, I am able to control different devices. I am able to control or grab the data from different devices, and I am able to analyze. So you may have just seen that AI is nothing but we are analyzing most high number of data, and we are predicting some of the normal actions of a human nature. Okay, and some of the process. Okay, when you just see about the industries, we are analyzing some of the process, how more accurate it can be done. So when you come to the human side, you are analyzing a human daily routine. Okay, you are analyzing the person's daily routine, and based on this person's daily routine, you are enhancing his comfort. Okay, by recommending something. Okay, so now we will see the evolution of your AI time chart. So you can see here your AI started from 1915. As I said, it has started from 1950, and now it is booming at the year of 2021. Okay, so at the first time they have just proposed for creating some machines with a small level intelligence. Okay, like giving some conditional rules, and based on detecting some sensor values or getting some data, it is able to do some actions. Okay, that was the first AI machine. So that was developed in 1950. Okay, and followed by 1955, 1961. Okay, they developed, or they just collected some of the data, and they provided in a software application, and they ran that. Okay, for predicting some, they are there try to predict some of things. Okay, so from that given data, they try to analyze some information. Okay, that things were done in the year of 1955, 1961. Okay, 64 and 66. So at the year of 66, they try to build a mobile robot with some kind of minimal action, like a robotic arm. Okay, with simple movements like pick and place. Right, and after the year of 1997, so the AI technology was at the exponential. So it starts to develop more, where we try to develop different kinds of parts of human. For example, we created human. We try to replicate human legs. Okay, we try to replicate human eye movements. So we created some of the human face like structure, and we made that to speak and to react. Right, and in the year of 2000, we created some robots for cleaning our environment, like the Roomba model. Okay, it's a vacuum cleaner robot that moves inside your houses, and it cleans. It clears all the dust. Okay, so that was your first autonomous AI robot, I can say that. And we also replicate the models of the robot in like doing some animal robots and doing some missionary robots. So nowadays, previously they have used some of the robots which require human operator. Like in your car industries, you might note that the first robotics were implemented in your car industries. Okay, so which require, even though the robots are building some cars, you require some kind of human operators for monitoring its performance and how it is going. Okay, so now we are moving towards AI, where such that you don't need a human operator in place of it. So in place of it, you are giving some intelligence to that robot. Okay, and now you are able to do that operation without a human person. Okay, and even in you can say that even in space also, nowadays we are giving or implementing an AI based robot for detecting the unknown environments. So nowadays we are exploring the Mars, we are landing some of the rovers. Okay, and we are exploring the unknown environment of Mars. Okay, so these things are possible by combining with AI. Right, so this Sophia project was developed in 2016. Okay, and we have many kind of humanoid robots that are developed in this 2020 and 21. Okay, so as I said earlier, why we are using artificial intelligence is that, so just to enhance our comfort. Okay, so it makes and it reduces the gap between your industry and your customer. Okay, so by collecting some data, you are able to predict your customer requirement. So by that, you are able to adjust your industry production line. Okay, you are able to give some more enhanced comfort service to your customers, right? So these things are possible when you implement AI in your normal conventional process. So what is the ultimate goal of your AI? The ultimate goal of your AI is nothing but you have to predict the human actions, you have to replicate it. Okay, so you have to analyze a particular data and you have to grab the respective information from that. Okay, and building some machines where that will do most of the human works or human normal works. Okay, I can say like that. So what this AI comprises of? Okay, so when I say in artificial intelligence, it is not a single domain. Okay, so when I say artificial intelligence in robotics, I cannot just put a circle and bound that technology in a single space. Okay, it has different kind of departments involved. Okay, so it comes with philosophy, computer science, psychology, neuron science, biology, mathematics, sociology, and still more. Okay, so since we are giving some intelligence, so intelligence requires some of the philosophical things that are to be known. So when you are creating some human robots, so you have to just give some of the philosophical things such that it can able to sense our culture. Okay, so when you are creating some autonomous or 100% human robot, so you have to give such things such that it must know our local culture. Okay, so how these humans in this area react. Okay, and we involved in computer science for creating some of the logical programs. Okay, and you have to know the psychology so that only the AI can understand what the human will do at this point of time. Okay, so that you have to know the psychology of that human, right? So this department also comes in. You have to know about the neuron science. So AI is nothing but similar to our brain. Okay, our brain has multiple neurons. Okay, so that neurons communicate with each other and it controls our actions. And similar manner, we are creating an artificial thing. Okay, which is replicating our brain's action. Okay, and even we are nowadays, I said that we are developing the brain computing applications. Okay, so in that your biology department also coming in, and as I said, AI is a complex algorithm, so your mathematics also comes in, everything. So whatever the departments are available, every department it is involving in AI. Okay, so with these departments only you are able to provide or develop a customized humanoid robot, okay, which is completely autonomous. So different versions or different applications of AI, I can say that I have already given an example on YouTube. So how they are analyzing their or how they give some recommended videos. Even Google, I have just shared that Google Map application. So how it is sensing our location and asking for ratings. Okay, and even Alexa, it is using some of the voice optimization techniques. Okay, and some of the stock markets are using nowadays predictive analysis for predicting the future level of your stock markets, right? So there are multiple kind of applications you have in AI. So as I said, robotics, so which is a huge branch, and we have different kind of robots nowadays available. So as an example, I have shared that Sophia is a humanoid robot that can replicate the reactions of a human, right? So just a minute. Yeah, so when I say we are developing a complete humanoid vision or a humanoid robots, we have to give a vision for our robot. Okay, so nowadays the current projects are coming in machine vision, where with the help of some kind of cameras, okay, we are able to analyze an object, we are able to do some object tracking. Okay, we are able to analyze what kind of object is this, and we are able to find whether it is a fake or real, right? And even with machine vision, we are able to navigate a robot autonomously without some human interference. Okay, so machine vision, it is also an evolving technology in AI. Nowadays, most of the projects are coming under this machine vision only. Okay, we can say like it is also an agent inside your AI. So I will come to that agent part later. So and another kind of agent is your speak recognition. So by voice control, we are able to communicate with our robot, and we are able to command our robot. Okay, the robot is also able to recognize our voice. So who is the master and who is commanding him? So the robot knows. Okay, he is able to identify and analyze our voice at different modulations. Okay, so now we are able to do that. So we'll come to the types of AI. Okay, so we have based on the complexity of implementation of AI, we have narrow, general, and strong. Okay, and in type 2, I can divide like reactive machines, limited memory, theory of mind, and self-awareness. So these reactive machines, I can say like whenever an action happens, it just reacts. Okay, so like a basic sum of these smart devices. Okay, so whenever some kind of data is sensed by a sensor, some kind of operation it is going to be happen. Okay, so that comes under your reactive machines. So what is limited memory? So I'm just defining some set of rules, okay, for that particular action. Okay, so whatever may be the surrounding environment, your robot will perform only that actions. Okay, so what are the actions that are defined already in the memory, only those things will be performing. Okay, that we call it as a limited memory type A. And the third one is that theory of mind. So theory of mind is nothing but, so whatever the data it is getting and feeding, okay, so it analyzes that data. Okay, so based on the algorithms which you are implementing, so by following the algorithm sequence flow or the rules, it is predicting some useful information from that given data, and it is applying it, okay, in the real-time application. I can say, I can give like an example in medical applications in detecting some of the tumors. Okay, so where we are giving some deep learning or implementing deep learning algorithms like convolutional neural network and RCNN, etc. So that kind of things comes under your theory of mind. And self-awareness. Self-awareness is nothing but your robot is in an environment where it doesn't know about the environment completely. Okay, it is in an environment, okay, but it doesn't know anything about it. Okay, so what it is going to do? It is going to sense that environment. Okay, it is sensing how the environment it is surrounded by. Okay, so what are the things that are available, what kind of objects are available, it is sensing. So based on the sensing, so we are just going to give some kind of goals. Okay, you have to just go there to some point. Okay, so the robot senses around the objects, what kind of path it can take. Okay, it analyzes. Nowadays your Tesla's autonomous car, right? So that kind of things comes under the self-awareness. Okay, it analyzes how we are going to move forward. Okay, how we are going to reach the goal in a short time. Okay, so these things comes under your self-awareness. So now we are just come to the type 1 of classification, where we have weak, A, general, and super. So wherever we implement some applications, right? So we use AA in some kind of applications. So that things are coming under your weak AA, where we require only small amount of intelligence for a particular application or a specific task. Okay, so when I just say for a super AA, so whenever you create a robot like Sophia or Boston Dynamics are creating some of the humanoid robots, right? So they have implemented or they are using super artificial intelligence, where multiple complex algorithms you are using and you are identifying different specific tasks. Okay, multiple tasking. Okay, that is what the super AI can handle. So when you are handling only a specific task, then your AI can be in the category of weak or narrow AI. Okay, and we have already discussed about this artificial intelligence and type 2 structures. So let's move forward. So now we'll just come to the agent. So what is an agent in AI is that, so whatever that could sense the environment and whatever that could alter your environment, we call it as an agent. Okay, so for example, when I take a human as an example, so what are the agents and human assets that eyes, ears, and other organs are coming under the agent category of a human. So similarly, when I take a robot, okay, what are the agent it has is that, like some infrared sensors, visual cameras, motors, okay, servo motors, etc. So like this, so whatever the things which you are using for sensing an environment, okay, and modifying that environment by particular actions. Okay, so that we call it as an agent. And in this agent also we have 5 level of categories, where we call as a simple reflex agent, model based reflex agent, goal based, and utility based and learning agent. A simple reflex agent, as I said, like these agents are sensing some data and providing result or providing an action that is relevant to that sense data. Okay, so they are able to do only some kind of simple task. Okay, either they can sense some of the human activity in a room. Okay, so based on that they can just detect the human activity and they can just turn some devices on. Okay, that comes under your simple reflex agent. So what is a model based reflex agent? So now you can just consider like a vacuum cleaner. Okay, where you don't have a particular control actions or your particular sequence of flow. Like your simple reflex agent, you have to just analyze that environment. Your vacuum cleaner will analyze the environment of the indoor location. Okay, it decides whether to move forward or it predicts whether a human is coming in front of its path. Okay, to avoid collisions, it predicts most of the parameters in the environment. Okay, so it is doing multiple actions. It is sensing the environment and based on the data it is collected, it is doing some actions. Okay, so it is considering the past data, right? So the agents which are going to consider the past data and going to perform some specific task, we call it as a model based reflex agent. Okay, and what is a goal based agent is that you are going to only provide some of the goal applications. Like as I said, you are for example for the same vacuum cleaner, so which is going to randomly move inside your indoor environment. So instead of that random movement, if I'm just going to give some exact location to reach, okay, at those point of time, similarly it is going to analyze your environment data. Okay, it finds the shortest path and optimal path. Okay, and it navigates. Okay, that is your goal based agents. Okay, that is the next step of your model based reflex agent. Okay, and your utility based agent is nothing but, so the utility based agent comes under the software applications. Okay, so whatever the applications we have or whatever the applications are implemented in AA are coming under this utility based agent. And the final one is your learning agent. So where the algorithm learns itself, like your deep learning algorithm, it learns the environment. Okay, it does some error and it rectifies that. Okay, by trial and error it is learning. Like how from our childhood, how we are grown up, right? We have made many kind of errors and now we are able to rectify that error and we are moving or we are just enhancing ourselves. Okay, so that is why you are learning agent. Okay, so your autonomous cars are coming under this last category, learning agent, and even your home humanoid robots are coming under this learning agent. So these are some of the structured block diagrams of your some of the agent types that we have discussed previous. So in the model based reflex agent, you can see that it is sensing that environment and based on the past data and the present data, it is going to do some actions. Okay, and in the goal based, as I said, we are just going to give the goal and the robot automatically sends that past data and present data and it is going to choose a path and it is going to achieve that goal. That what's here the basic requirement of these kind of agents. Okay, and the next one is your utility, the same kind. Okay, these kind of things are applicable in your softwares. And this is what your learning agent, which is a complex one, which is implemented in kind of humanoid robots and autonomous cars. So we have a representation called pairs representation. So which is nothing but performance, measure, environment, actuator, sensors. Okay, so whatever the AI application, when you just involve this representation, you are able to differentiate what were the performance they are given by them and what is the environment it operates and what are the actuators it has and what are the sensors it has. Okay, so we will see some examples. So we will take the self-driving cars as an example. So when you just segregate or classify your self-driving cars under this PS representation, so what is the performance of your self-driving cars? It is the safety, time and comfortness of the driver. Okay, so how much safety it is providing for us, that is your performance. Okay, and what is your environment? Some of the roads, vehicles, road signs, pedestrian crossings, etc. Right? And what are the actuators it has? So it has some of kind of acceleration, brake, okay, steering, okay, these are the some of the actuators it has. And what kind of the sensors we are using? We are using multiple sensors like and lidar sensor we are using, odometry sensors, okay, cameras, GPS, whatever. We are using multiple number of sensors for a single autonomous car, okay, for just analyzing that environment, okay. And even these are some of the examples that are related to your medical applications, okay. So first one is nothing but your medical diagnosis application, where your performance measure is nothing but how it measures the patient whether he is healthy or not, okay, by minimizing the cost of that specific application, okay. So according to a medical diagnosis kit, you are seeing the performance as low cost and as well as the classifying an healthy patient to an affected. And what kind of environment, like hospitals and whatever the biomedical related. So what are the actuators we use? We use some tests and some kind of treatments. So sensors is nothing but your keyboard, okay, and some kind of cameras. And similarly for your part picking robot, where it is going to pick some part and it is going to place in a correct bin, okay. So the accuracy of that placing in a correct position or the percentage of correctness, we call it as a performance. How accurately and how correctly it is going to do that work, okay. And what is the environment? It is going to work in some kind of industries where it will be placed above the conveyor belt, such that so whatever the parts that are moving in a conveyor belt, it is able to sense whether the part is a defect one or it is a right one, okay. If it is a defect one, it is going to pick it up and it is going to put in some kind of pins, right? So what are the actuators it has? It has some joint arms, hand, okay, some moving parts. And what are the sensors it has? So it has some kind of sensors called cameras and some angle sensors like infrared sensors, so where you are just going to analyze the defects, okay. So platforms in AI. So what are the multiple platforms you have in AI? So for creating an application, okay, you have multiple subsets of AI. So like when we just discussed about this topic AI, so I say that we are encountering with the data, we are using IoT, okay, and we are using some deep learning methods, okay. And other than this, we have multiple topics like a natural language processing, where this is useful for your speech recognition, and for machine vision we have like a visualization topic, okay, and a virtual person assistant. So nowadays we are adding some AR or augmented reality based things also for our AI, so that gives a more interaction with your user, okay. And some kind of machine translation and machine learning algorithms, okay. So these kind of multiple platforms are available for developing AI application, okay. They are different kinds of platforms, okay, where this AI can be implemented, okay. So when you just separately implement this AI in this particular separate platforms, we call it as a weak AI or a general AI, okay. When you all integrate together, then it comes under the category of super AI, okay. So I will just list out some of the platforms where you can just create some of the AI applications, okay. So some of the basic platforms we have is that Google AI platform, TensorFlow, and this Microsoft Azure and even Amazon Web Services are some kind of cloud services which are very much useful for handling and storing and processing a huge amount of data, which cannot be done by your normal systems or GPU processors that we have in our home, okay. So our normal laptop or computer can process only some amount of data, okay. So for processing a huge amount of data, like you are getting some data from an entire AC manufacturing factory, then that data will be a huge amount, okay. You cannot run in a server or a small server, okay. In that time you have to keep some space where the server size will be in the size of a room, okay. So to avoid that or to eliminate that additional space required for placing a server, you can use your cloud, where you will be storing this kind of data related to your industry to a third party, okay, in a remote location, and they provide a huge configuration for running and processing that multiple or huge amount of data. So they have the capacity to do that. Okay, so when we just implement or when we try to implement for us in a separate manner, so that cost also get increases. Okay, so for to avoid the cost and additional spaces, we can move to the cloud services. Okay, so most probably nowadays we are using TensorFlow and Google AI platform for creating multiple AI based applications. So when I say AI, we have some kind of subsets like deep learning and machine learning, which is coming under this AI platform. Okay, so you can use this kind of machine learning and deep learning algorithms like your naive Bayes random classifier, and when you come to deep learning, you have a CNN and RCNN, FNN. Okay, so these kind of platforms or these kind of methods can be implemented using your TensorFlow packages. Okay. So I have just listed out some of the best benefits of this Google AI platform and TensorFlow packages. So what are some of the best and benefits is that it is a long-term use, and the pricing also it is very much lower when compared to others, and they also provide a free source for students. Okay, and we have a cloud based also. Okay, we can store our data in a cloud and we can analyze the data and process the data in the cloud itself. Okay, and it also offers some good security. Okay, so since all the data are processed via your internet, so there is a huge risk on cyber securities, right? So this kind of third party like Microsoft Azure or Google AI platform, so they are assuring a good web security for those kind of cloud services. Okay, so these are some of the ratings that are taken from the internet. And your TensorFlow package, which is mostly used nowadays for creating some projects on your AI based applications. So your TensorFlow has maximum number of libraries, okay, from which you can implement most number of algorithms you have. Okay, and they also provide and they have multiple huge support for, or huge community support for developing some projects. Okay, so whatever some of the doubts or clarifications you require, you can just ask in that community. Okay, and it is more flexible and you can just run the code wherever. Okay, and as I said, AI with robotics, I will just give you an overview on how robotics or AI in robotics is similar to a human. Okay, so now consider you can just consider yourself. You just turn back and so how you have developed. Okay, so you consider yourself as a machine and you see how you have developed. So at the age of at the beginning, at the age of 1 or 2, you are at the you are just copying some of the or you are replicating some of the actions that were done by your relatives or parents. Okay, so whatever the parents say, you are just replicating. Okay, so your parent taught some words to speak. Okay, you are replicating the same words. Okay, they teach how to behave in some kind of environments. Okay, and they teach how to eat and how to do some of the basic necessities or basic activities. Okay, they teach us, so we learn from them, right? So that is our learning process. Okay, and after that we come to school and we gain knowledge about some of the technologies. We learn them. Okay, we are learning continuously, right? So we are learning and we are developing. Okay, at the age of 1 to 2, we are just speaking some of the words, 1 or 2 words, and at the age of 7 or 8, we are able to study some poets or some kind of technologies, right? Some basic physics or mathematics. We are able to analyze it and we are able to get that things, right? And after coming to the age of 10 and 12, okay, so you are under the still learning process, but now at this kind of age, about 13 and 14, you are able to analyze some environment and you are making decisions on your own. Okay, so before the age of 10, you are just following your whatever the commands or the rules that are set by your parents. Okay, and after that, now you are just creating some decisions on your own. Okay, So based on the learnings you have got from your previous ages, so you are creating, or you itself create a behavior. So this person will act this like only. Okay, he is a person of a good character. Okay, so those things are developed by the continuous learning process. So based on the learning process only, our kind of taking decision or whatever, how we react, it's based on the learning process of our past, right? And in a similar manner, nowadays our robotics also are developing the same route. Okay, so at the first time of creating a humanoid robot, I'm just teaching it some of the basic things. So how a human pick a teacup. Okay, and what are the and to identify a human, I'm just teaching it. Okay, and after that, at the next stage, I'm teaching it to speak with a human. I'm teaching the robot to respond to a human. Okay, and after getting more knowledge and learning more about the human speaking process, and then I'm just teaching it to do some locomotory options similar to your human. Okay, like our walking style. Yes, so you have seen in the Robo movie, right? In Indian movie also you can see that that robot will be following the walking style of the scientist who have invented it. Okay, so we are just training it. We are making it to follow what are the rules and or whatever we teach. Okay, after doing that, now it has got the knowledge about the technologies, our behavior, our culture, and now it is able to think. Right? So after getting these much of knowledge only, it is able to think. And after that, we are going to give some kind of puzzles and we are asking it to solve. So now that robot thinks for solving that puzzles. Okay, it can be a maze puzzle also. Okay. So after whenever it does some work, it learns from that. Whenever it does some mistake, it learns from that. Okay, it's like a feedback process. And with a continuous feedback process, so at a certain year, after 5 to 6 years, you are able to develop a complete humanoid robot that is similar to like a present human. Okay, but we have all the technologies and whatever the features we require, we have just developed everything. In this current scenario, all the countries, I think most of the developed countries are having all the technologies for creating a complete humanoid robots, but they are not integrating all those things. Okay, they have just have the separate things of giving a reaction or only recognizing the speech. Okay, or only providing some of the locomotions, right? So they are not integrating. Why? Because sometimes this AI can it can just make human as a slaves. So there is a controversy going in that. Yes, there is a debate is going on that that your AI there is a debate is going on that like your AI will be outkicking the humans and making the humans as a slave, like the Terminator movie which came, and there is a debate actually is going on. Okay, it's a controversy. Even the result cannot be identified now itself. So more years has to be move on. So for finding what was the result, whether we are just going to develop a complete humanoid robot or still we are going to restrict that. So that the future has to be saying the answers. So this is how you create some of the robotics, right? So I like to share how you are developing a robot with AI, right? And let's come to that platforms, and these are some of the ratings that are given by the websites. And I'll also try to show you code like a database training model. So we can create some of the database training models in your Google platforms, right? And you are able to try it. So you have variety number of examples that are available in your TensorFlow packages. You can just go there and you can just install them. Okay, we have a basic data package or data set providing agencies like Minset and Coco and Cipher, where you have multiple data sets. So like identifying a human and a cat based on the input image you get from your cameras, right? So you can use that kind of programs. You can just download, or you can use Google Colab, so which is a Google platform that is offered by the Google company. So for just without any kind of installation of Python or Anaconda Navigator, so you can just able to create some data set, or you can just upload the data set from the online, and you are able to run that data set. Okay, so whenever you upload some of the codes in the Google Colab, now it itself creates some of the descriptions for the particular codes. It segregates that code into packages, and it is able to give some particular descriptions. Okay, that is also possible. Okay, you download some of the basic examples, and you try to learn more regarding this AI concept. Okay, so why? Because this is most booming technology. As I said, we have multiple concepts here, we have multiple technologies oriented with this, and so that you have to learn more. Okay, so try to learn some of the basic codes that are available in the internet. Okay, so that you get an idea on implementing this AI, and then you can just move on to the robotics part, where you will have an idea of implementing AI in basic structures, and then you are able to now combine with that robotics for certain operations like autonomous navigation. Okay, it's the best example for your robotics, which is it is most difficult part. So once the movement is done, you are able to add some more moving parts like arms and eyes for your robot, and you can just make it perform some kind of difficult actions. Okay, so the moving part of the robot, or autonomous navigation part of the robot, it's a highly complex part. Okay, like making your robot to move in indoor environment, right? So you try to explore more projects, more examples. You try to learn TensorFlow. Okay, so in our Pantech we are providing some of the courses regarding this kind of AI deep learnings, and we are also doing projects, multiple projects on vision, and nowadays we are doing multiple projects on OpenCV, like only like object detection, or using CNN we are classifying some of the images. Okay, we are predicting some kind of stock markets. So we are doing multiple projects on this kind of areas. Okay, so nowadays students come with deep learning or machine learning or AI based projects only. Okay, so you try to analyze and learn more about this AI. So I think I have just conveyed most of the basics that you have to need to know, and I have given knowledge on what is AI, and how our AI just develops, and how our data are got collected, and how they are processed, right? So I wish that everyone try to learn this AI concept, and try to do some projects, some basic projects, so that you have more knowledge on this topic. So if you have any kind of queries, you can just ask in the chat box. Okay guys, so I think most of the topics are basic topics I've just conveyed to you. So I will end the stream. Yeah, thank you for your valuable feedback, and you can also provide the feedback of this live session, so that I can correct myself if any mistakes I've done from my side. Yeah, so thank you guys. I'll end the stream today, and you can just try to explore more on AI topics, and thank you everyone.